Jesus Christ. Let me go live. Get the show on the road. Okay. It says we're live. So welcome from the crossroads of America. So 1 hour talk show, guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience. Just put them in the chat or email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page and all that good stuff. All the information down there below on YouTube. So, hey, Sabrina's here. And what else was I going to say? Oh, hell. Can't remember what else I was going to say now, but couldn't have been that important. Let's see who was in the chat first. Was Patriot in the Dark. Then Patrick Henry. Then the real Mad Murdoch, verified user. If you're the real Mad Murdoch, who is the false one? Then what's that? Gak. Sorry about your balls, bro. I think that's from. I think that was from Matt in one of his game videos he did. We got Jason, Southpaw, Two Live Moo, Kingpin's in here, so they're all getting here. So, Sabrina's here, of course. Anyway, on my panel so far tonight, I have Patriot in the Dark. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Rick. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, missed you all last week.
Just feeling it out, getting used to having so many people around.
Yeah. Then we got the one and only Kingpin. How you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good, Rick. Thanks for having me. Good to be with you guys tonight.
No problem. So, I was wondering, I was sitting here thinking what topic to come up with because I really hadn't researched it. And I can't say because of the coronavirus and everything else that's going on that, to be quite honest, my life ain't changed that much at all. The only difference now is that if I go down to Dubs, it's takeout only. That's the only difference, really. I don't do, I'm just doing the stuff I normally do. So, also in our county down here, I think there's only been 12 confirmed cases of it. And the counties around me aren't very, I think I'm surrounded by, 4 counties? I think it is. And I think between the 4 of us is less than 100 cases, so it's not affecting our little world down here too much. So I say open it up and let it go, but we had this big discussion on Saturday. So people thought I was unconsiderate or whatever.
Yeah, the only thing that's changed in my life is I don't get as many deliveries. I've cut them down.
Okay.
But I don't drive around or nothing.
Yeah, but I was thinking, I'm sitting here and wondering what to do. Actually, my biggest highlight so far this 6 weeks, and it kind of got to me because I was watching an old movie last night, Transporter 2, and there I am, and it's getting the action starting to get up, and then my power goes out last night. Went out for over 2.5 hours. It was pitch black because it was around 10:30. So I headed to bed. And of course, then I get up this morning, and I don't remember moving my TV last night, but I must have knocked it or something. Well, not the TV, the thing that the satellite TV goes into. What do you call them damn things? Yeah. And all I can say is what I'm thinking is that the cable must have been ready to fall out. Was what they call it, HDMI or whatever cable.
Yeah.
Right, had fallen out the back of it, and I couldn't get my TV. So, I call up the satellite company, thing, and they said the whole time was some unbelievable amount of time due to the coronavirus. I'm thinking, well, I can't. I mean, it gets sent off. Well, I guess coronavirus is all over the world, so there are people in India got it as well. I guess, you know. Anyway, I decided to. I said, forget that. So I went into the chat mode. Chat mode, I got in straight away. I said, your goddamn service ain't working. Get somebody out here.
You've got mail.
And they said, well, have you checked all the cables? I said, of course I have. You know, well, then, of course, you know, the way they talk to you. I said, okay, just to satisfy you, I'm typing this in. I'll check them again. Right? And as soon as I touched that cable, it fell off in my hand. So I pushed it back in. My satellite TV came back on. I said, thanks a lot. See ya. And cut the chat out. That's been the highlight of my 6 weeks. So, but that was hard. I mean, that's you know, and I've been saying this. My back. I don't know why, but my back has been absolutely killing me, guys. You know, and I don't know. It feels like I don't know. It feels like because you know spinal stenosis. You know, that's because it gets real tight around all your nerves running down your spinal cord. I don't know if it's got thicker inside, so it's got tighter, but it's hurting like a son of a bitch these last few days.
Does the cold mess with it?
Only it messes with the arthritis in my back, but this feels deeper than that, you know. And I said I can only sit in this chair for maybe an hour or a little over, and it starts hurting me like hell. So, I mean, I could call the doctor and go see him, but I don't want to, you know, with all everything going on, I don't want to bother him with it. I mean, what are they going to do? They can't do. I mean, I think Indiana's starting May 1st or something that they're allowing selective surgery. You know, but I don't want my back. I don't want my back operated on unless I absolutely have to. You know. So, I mean, do I want another? Do I want a shot of something in it to ease the pain? It doesn't cure the problem, but it makes the pain go away. I don't know.
Does it do the same thing if you're walking around, or is it just?
Well, my back hurts when I'm walking too.
Huh.
I mean, it even hurts sitting in the recliner. You know, it hurts no matter what I do. The only time it doesn't hurt is if I'm laying down on and I got to lay on I can't lay on my back. I have to lay on either side, you know, my right or left side. Then it doesn't hurt. Well, as long as I'm still. If I start moving, it hurts. But
well, you have to move your computer closer.
yeah. But it's all part of getting old and being disabled, I guess. You know. But what I was thinking this morning, though, when I couldn't get my TV, because I thought maybe, you know, something happened to the dish outside, and I thought, oh God, you know, I used to be able to go out. I would have gone out there and messed around with it and see if that was it, but I can't even do that nowadays. I feel so useless at times, you know. So it has its down, and I haven't received my stimulus check yet. According to the government website, that our information, you can't check it because our information hasn't been loaded into their application yet. But I also read something else that people are on Social Security or the railroad retirement or whatever will be getting theirs by the end of the month. So I still got another, week to go? So, and hey, I mean, really though, as I said, my life hasn't changed much. So, I mean, I survive. I survive on what I get anyway. You know, it's just nice to have some extra money. Do I deserve it? Personally, I think so. I paid taxes for years. You know, so so I just look at it as tax money that I paid in years ago, and I'm finally getting it back. So,
well, I got an email, not kind of off topic, but not that senior defender, whatever. Is that what it was called? That little handle laser thing for the pistol that has been released now.
okay.
I guess you would just go, search up the senior defender. I don't know. The guy sent me an email about it, so that they're released. I don't know what pistols they're for. I know when he was first setting it up, he had a couple and one for a revolver, I believe. But that's that handle thing with the laser, whatever, however you guys described it. So
yeah. I mean,
if anybody's interested,
I was getting excited because I had contact with a couple of people who said they were willing to come on the show, and I said, "Well, I said this is when I have my show. Tell me what day works for you, and if it doesn't, I can do a, just a one-on-one sort of interview, and I'll play it back, later. I could do that as well, but they never got back to me, which is kind of a bummer.
You gotta stay on them.
Yeah, I mean, I figured I wasn't going to bother them during this. I'll wait till the, country back onto it. It's never going to, when it gets to semi-reasonable, let's put it that way, I'll get back in touch with
them. Some of them guys have more than enough time. Maybe.
True. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, because all
right now it's a lot easier to go on and talk about something than if they can't get to work, or they're not, their place is closed or something. And there's enough people out there listening, maybe.
Oh, Sincere says, get the reloading gear going. That is what I'm doing while sitting here, and you can make a few bucks off of buddies that don't have time to sit. Yeah. Mind you, I was looking into, because I was going to treat myself to some new dyes and stuff when my stimulus check came here. But reloading supplies are hard to find, especially dyes online. I'm going to go check my local gun store, see if they have any. But I don't want to go down there without any money in my pocket. So I've been Senior Citizens Defender. Unknown user put the link in the chat, by the way.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Sabrina said she had to send her husband down to the doctor. Yeah. I know, medication making him dizzy and stuff. New medication. Yeah, that's happened to me in the past too. I don't know. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain what's going on with me. I really don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's watching me on my camera. I don't think you see. I keep sort of lifting myself up and resetting myself back down in the seat, because my back is killing me. Oh, Sincere said his was deposited last week, So.
Yeah, I think they're all random.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, 80 million people got them last Wednesday, and so that leaves an extra, how many more millions is there to go that needs them, Now,
if you go to Brownells and stuff, I mean, is that something you can pick up through Brownells? I mean, or is there better places to get reloading stuff? I mean, I've never bought it.
I mean, I know a lot of them. The problem is those sites. I haven't checked Brownells, to be quite honest with you, but a few sites I've checked, they're say on back order. Unavailable right now. So. That's
because you can get pretty much everything shipped to you, right? Like
what?
You can get most of the supplies shipped to you if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
order them. I mean, it's just like ammunition. You just pay a hazard fee
yeah.
or something.
I mean, the only thing is like primers. Primers, you have to pay a hazmat fee.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my gun store is only 20 miles away, but that has loads of reloading. And I found out he's an authorized lead position authorized dealer. So, for the reloading like dies and stuff like that, I need spare parts. He carries all that. So I'm hoping when I go down there, he's got some of those dies on hand.
Why don't you give him a call? Call him.
I could do.
Say, hey, I'm looking at XYZ and see what he's got, and say, hey, if I buy, I might.
Oh yeah, I could do all that, but that's. I mean,
it's not as fun as walking in the.
That's like I mean, that's me getting off my lazy ass and picking up the telephone, ain't it? Yeah, no, but I have been sitting here. Well, not last few days, but I have dies for what I mean. I mainly shoot 45 and 380 because I'm carrying a 380 now because of my arthritis. So I've been before the last couple. I haven't reloaded for a couple of days because of my back, but before that, I've been sitting here reloading 380s. Just give me. Well, I've been chatting on the morning show. I've been sitting here making. I've made about 400 so far. I'm running out. I ain't got much brass left, so I got to go shoot some, get some more brass. Unless anybody's got any 380 brass they want to send me, So yeah, reloading's some other channels I watch talk reloading too. Yeah, and reloading is it's people are getting into it. Because ammo's brought back up because ammo's get in short supply now. So reloading's another option, but now it's hard to get reloading supplies. Hey, Squib, long time no see. How you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you. How's things going up there in Michigan?
Not great, but they're not as bad as everybody says.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So you can buy seeds, but you can't buy paint.
No. At least I was told I couldn't.
No, because Squib done a video on it because he wanted to paint his fence, and he couldn't get the spray paint to do it. So
you think that's because people having to wear masks or something if you do it the way you're supposed to?
No, it's to discourage people from going to Lowe's and Home Depot for something to do.
Yeah.
That's what I figured it was.
My aunt went and they refused her to buy rutabaga seeds. She was trying to buy some a package of seeds, and they told her no, we couldn't sell it to you.
Plant nurseries and lawn and garden departments are closed. So if you go into Lowe's to buy a gallon of bleach and they have it, you can do that, or trash bags, or a broom, or I guess a new vacuum cleaner or something like that. No. But you can't go into the lawn and garden department, or you can't bring it up at the register. You can't go into the paint. You can go into the paint department and buy a brush or drop cloths, but you can't buy paint.
Yeah, because you can. I've just set it up where I'm picking up some studs, some 2x4s and drywall. It's fine for that, but I can't paint it though.
Correct. The way I think the way to comply with the order and not get anybody at the store in trouble is just to have paint shipped in from out of state if you want to pay the shipping fees.
Have you looked at Amazon with any of that kind of stuff? Because I know I've came across a couple things that said they won't ship to Michigan because of whatever the executive orders and stuff. I don't know if that's the paint or anything, or if you go through a like Sherwin-Williams or something online.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many Michigan. What do you call you guys from Michigan? Michiganites or whatever? I mean, what's called 2 Live Moose?
debate on that. It's
Sin-
either Michiganian or Michigander.
Okay. Let's see. Sincere's from Michigan.
But
Two live.
I'm not a Michiganian or a Michigander.
Yeah,
I'm a North Carolinian.
Yeah, you lived there long enough, though, haven't you? How long you lived there?
Longer
Too
than I lived
long.
anywhere else. But
There
I
you
don't.
go. That makes you one.
Shit. Yeah. Okay. So the way I see it is, she's trying to keep people from doing certain activities to discourage people from going to places to go shopping or to congregate or what have you. The flaw in her logic is the things she's discouraging people from doing are things that will enable them or encourage them to stay home. Yes, you have to go to Lowe's for the paint, but once you have the paint, you're going to stay home and paint the house. And if you purchase that, then you're putting money back into the economy. But by saying you can't buy paint, now you're going to go find something else to do, since you don't have a home project to do. Or she's not thinking like an average citizen who lives paycheck to paycheck. She's thinking like an elitist.
Yeah, but
and most of those stores you can order it and pick it up at the curb, so you don't even have to go into the store. I mean, I know Home Depot is doing that, where you can order it and they'll come and load it up for you, and away you go.
Yeah,
and I thought about that too, because the day I shot that video about the paint, the neighbors across the street had a flatbed show up with all kinds of wood and stuff like that. I think they're building a deck, right? They've been working on this house since the order went into place, since they must be furloughed too. And they've just been doing home improvement like crazy over there. The whole family, wife, kids, all of them, right? And I thought, what would be the difference between me going, just having them delivered on the flatbed he had bags of concrete and stuff on there, so he was making another stop. So like what you're saying, the curbside pickup, that just makes too much sense. Yeah, and that's the problem I have with her. She's not doing stuff that makes sense.
Yeah. My parents are old, and they've got they have a farm, a 30-acre farm, whatever. But way up north, they've got their cabin. It's just a house, whatever. But they go up there bring the horses, and they do their little thing, and it's no big deal, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. But they're stuck at their house. They can't go up there. They can't do anything, because you're not supposed to leave.
Yeah, that's kind of asinine too, But I think the shopping thing mainly is like, if you got to go grocery shopping or whatever, you go. You, your wife and your 7 kids don't have to go.
And that was a problem. It's to some extent, it still is a problem. So right when they first started closing the restaurants and bars and stuff like that here in Michigan, I started noticing people going to Meijer's, the 24-hour grocery store, for something to do. Like there was a couple in front of me holding hands. I'm like, what, are you on a date? And there were people bringing their kids there at 11 o'clock at night. Well, the kids had been out of school already. This is before they started making all these jobs unnecessary and furloughing people. And I've got a friend who works at the Home Depot, and she said, yeah, there are plenty of customers in the store. This is before they started limiting things, that were there and just walking around the store and not making any purchases. They were going there for something to do, because they can't go to the movies, or they can't go out to dinner, or they can't go bowling, or they can't go
to the park.
I don't think the woman thought this through. She's just listening to this doctor that's got her by the marionette strings, and she's not thinking that if you take away 3 things, that 4th thing is where everybody's going to go. And when you take away that 4th thing, then people are going to start screaming civil liberties.
Sorry, I was typing. Sabrina said, "Isn't everything closed there? Here, everything is closed. Only non-essential stores are closed.
You can go to the grocery store. You can go to the pharmacy. You can go to the hardware store. You can go to the auto parts store. You can go to the pet supply store. You can go to the bank."
Now, this is what gets me. you can't go buy clothes at a clothes store, but you can buy clothes in Walmart.
Correct.
What's the difference?
But you can't go buy paint at the Sherwin-Williams shop, and you can't buy paint at Walmart.
Yeah, it doesn't make, some of these rules don't make sense at all. They're relaxing stuff here in Indiana starting next week. You know, the restaurants aren't open yet, but they're starting to open a few things.
I just see it kind of odd that, you know, they throw that label, you know, the essential, non-essential around, but it's just kind of odd that the huge, big corporation stores like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, those are all essential, but you know, my Ace Hardware has the same stuff, isn't, and that's actually owned by somebody that lives right here. I don't know if that's just.
Yeah, hardware stores are open, right? Can't you buy your paint? I mean,
no.
With your hardware
rule, you cannot sell paint across the board. So it doesn't matter if you're
right. You go in there and they may or may not have the paint roped off, but even if they don't, and you grab some when you go to the register, they're going to refuse to sell it to you.
Yeah.
She keeps dodging the question about, well, the lottery's not essential. Why do you keep selling lottery tickets? That encourages people to go to these places to go buy lottery tickets. And every time she changes the subject.
Oh, yeah, because it keeps money coming into the state. Because the state takes their cut of it. You know? She's a crook anyway, from what I can figure out. Like she's handing out contracts to her buddies without going through the proper channels. You know?
I think that she wants to do the right thing. I think she believes she's doing the right thing. But because she's so disconnected from the average person, she's not doing what's in our best interest. But she's so self-assured. She's just so stubborn and so that she's not going to listen to anybody. So a contractor sent her a message, an email or something, and she got it. And the contractor said, I literally work in vacant buildings. Nobody's there. I work when nobody's there. These are places that are being remodeled or renovated or whatever. There's nobody there for me to social distance from because I'm literally alone in the building. Tell me why I can't go to work. And you know what her excuse was? Well, you might touch the gas thingy on the way there, gassing up your truck. The gas thingy.
I know it's crazy. It really is.
Some group called the Michigan Petroleum Manufacturing whatever sent out a formal thing on their website and more or less saying that it is not unsafe to touch a gas pump. Do not be terrified. And they actually addressed it on TV with her, and she backpedaled out of that one pretty good. She complains about the president, but if you notice, she does a lot of same stuff that he does. So she's just a politician. They're all politicians.
Yeah.
You know, my thing isn't that she's a Democrat or any of that stuff. That's one of the problems I had with that rally that they had was it was more of a political rally than a civil liberties rally. And don't get me wrong, I saw some of the same people and same crap I see when I go to Lansing for the gun stuff. But we don't get that sort of attention, so it just didn't look good. So take it for what it's worth.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the country now, I think they're getting fed up. They're getting cabin fever, being stuck in all the time and stuff, and they want to get back out. Because maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I know there's places that, like New York, are having trouble with this thing, but I personally don't know a soul who has died from this. I don't know a soul who's even contracted it in my circle of friends. So so I know it's sad that even one person has died from it, but it's I don't know. I think I said this on Saturday. I think we should start opening up, which we are, and see where it takes us. Because even Trump said, was it yesterday or today? Was it yesterday? I can't remember on one of his things. He goes, somebody said, well, what happens if something flares up somewhere? He said, if there's a hot spot, we can go and contain it. So it seems to me they know more about this virus than they're telling the public. You know, so
Okay, but let's say they open it up, but they have rules. You have to wear a mask everywhere. You can't get closer than 6 feet from somebody. If somebody feels threatened, you could have people start to have fights over this stuff.
I
And
know.
how exactly are you going to get when you go to the barber to get your hair cut? How's your barber supposed to say? Is he supposed to put it on a stick? And I go to a little barber shop. It's usually crowded and there's a wait. If they got a sign on the door that says only one person in at a time because of the square footage or what, I'll never get a haircut.
But you say that
there's always a wait there.
Yeah, but you go to McDonald's or you go to a restaurant and walk in, or they come out. That person, when they hand you your food, is closer than 6 feet.
And they've handed food to 500 other people that day. So what's the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, what is the difference between the mailman dropping off your mail and he goes to 200 other houses in your neighborhood and touches mail and mailboxes and you grab that mail? Or I've heard of some people that have died. People that I know have known some people who have died from this. But I haven't seen something on the news about a mass hiring of cashiers, because you would think cashiers at these stores that are considered essential would be dropping like flies, right?
Yeah. I know. So, Kingpin, you haven't said a word this whole 30 minutes we've been on air.
Yeah, that happens from time to time.
You got any input on this, or you're just you're taking a back seat on this one?
And everybody knows how I feel about it. This is fake news, and we need to stop playing this game. We already know the numbers are all phony, so we need to stop playing this game.
Yeah, and the economy's on its back. So we need to at least get it back on its knees. So all right, and all they're doing is printing more money. Do you realize your grandchildren's grandchildren will be paying for this debt? So.
Hello, people. Sorry I'm late.
How you doing, New York?
All right. Sorry, I got carried away with the project, so didn't realize the time passed so quick. So
that's okay.
Yeah.
You got any on this?
A little bit. I'm not sure where I'm at, and I missed some of it. But I was going to say, as far as Squib's comment with the barber, I'm not stating this as a good idea or whatever, but I could see businesses maybe taking some type of legal route where any kind of close care like that, whether it's getting your nails done or whatever it may be. I assume some places could probably legally come up with some type of waiver where it would release them a liability if you did come in contact and get sick. Now, whether they're employees...
It's not about liability.
Well, I don't know. I'm just stating, I could see businesses getting by that in a sense, almost like a racetrack. You go to NASCAR and a car hits you in the head and you die. It's either you're dead. Nobody pays you. That's a waiver when you buy your ticket. Same thing at state fairs. Most people don't realize it, but the inside of your wristband, if you die at the state fair, you're not suing the state fair. So I'm just stating it. I know that's not your point, but businesses could probably get around it. I see what you're stating, the mailman, everything else. But if it does come to that, that would be a potential loophole for people to stay open and busy.
That's not even a consideration. My thing is, if you shut the business down because people going in and out of there causes this to spread, why after 6 weeks or 8 weeks does it magically no longer spread there? Well, no, it still does. Okay, well then how are they going to conduct their essential business if they don't have enough square footage, if they don't have enough employees, if they physically have to get close to you in order to touch you or touch something on you or something? It's part of the job, and and you're reopening it. Why suddenly now is it okay, but before it wasn't? And if it is okay, How are you going to, if you tell this place, all right, I know you got 3 employees, but the square footage, you can only have 1 customer in at a time. How are they going to make any money? Or, how are they going to, unless they turn the place into a 24-hour place and you're getting your haircut at 11 o'clock at night, and you're not going to wait out in the cold for, because it's still cold up here, for 4 hours waiting your turn to get
that's all good points. I mean, I think there's 2 ways to go about this. And again, I'm not sure where you were at. I mean, one is accept the fact that you're never going to be able to hide from this forever. So, now, yes, that sucks for a lot of people and stuff. But obviously, the whole point of this lockdown was to mitigate the flow so it wasn't an overflow. So, if it stays at a manageable level and people are back and forth, catching it, spreading it, hopefully getting some immunities to where it's not much of an issue to them in the future, then, that's one route. The other route is, I mean, what are they going to shut everything down and one person in a store at a time and then the whole place has to be cleaned? I mean, I just don't see that as being practical for a business to do or stay open or profit from. So,
and that was the next thing
Sweden hasn't even closed down at all.
Well, the next thing I was going to go with is, let's just say it is something where you can only have 1 person or so many people in the building for so long, blah, blah, blah. Then you have to clean it. Now you got to clean it with all this disinfectant, which is in short supply. As soon as they make it, it ends up going to the hospitals or wherever. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys seen Lysol and wipes at the store lately?
But if they wanted to be technical, you'd have to clean the entire facility after every individual walked through the door.
Precisely.
And nobody's going to be able
the
to
amount of time that would take, the amount of it.
Tell who's sick before they know they're sick. It's not even possible. So anything in between is all just mitigation. So what level can we live at and work at is really the question. What's the government going to do? Who knows? But I mean, that level, I think would be a personal thing, but the government's got a different story. So I don't know which way they're going. So again, I'm not trying to step on any toes or anything, but it basically breaks down.
No, I'm talking about how illogical it is.
Let it go, or anything else is mitigation either way. So there's going to be somebody pointing fingers. You should have done more or less.
We got a question in the chat to go back to shooting with disabilities real quick. And somebody wanted to know, us people with disabilities, how are we handling the medical side of things, like medication and stuff like that. But I'll start. Nothing's changed for me. I get my medication mailed to me, 90-day supply at a time. I just got notified today that one of my other drugs I got, it will be here on Friday. Doctor's appointments and stuff. All my doctors are open. Even my was open. I think I mentioned this last week. My what do you call it? Podiatrist, is that how you pronounce it? The foot doctor. Checked my feet because of my diabetes and because of my bad back. I can't bend over anymore to do my toenails, so they cut them for me while I'm there. So, they checked me when they made me drive up to the door. The doctor came out and took my temperature and asked a few questions, then told me to park, then come in, which I did. And then they followed in a room. They were all wearing masks and gloves in there, but that was about it, really. Then when on the way out, of course, they wanted me to pay my copay. So the lady behind the counter was wearing a mask and gloves. That's how so right now, nothing's changed for me, but I don't know about anybody else. What about you, Patriot? Anything your medical's changed that you have to do?
I swapped over one of my insulins. I pay extra for some stupid insurance and whatever to cover, the tier 1 or whatever name brand stuff. And anyways, they had said one of the local pharmacies had refilled one of my scripts with a generic, and they don't cover generics, which is kind of dumb. Anyway, so I had to switch a type, and that was a lot of phone tag and stuff. But like with my doctor, I called in there and you leave a message for a new script or whatever, and then they'll only call you if they can't get it. Well, the lady called me, I guess it was about a week later and said, okay, well, this afternoon, the doctor's going to call you for your doctor's appointment, because he's got to talk to you before he can call, your scripts in. So he set it up for a time, and then I waited until that time, and I waited until like 9:00 at night, and I still hadn't got anything. And they never called, never left me a message. I called the next day, and oh well, he just called it in for you. And so I wasted part of the day not doing anything. But I got a continuous glucose meter supposedly coming out that I put in for, I don't know, a couple months ago, and that's still kind of going along because the lady that's does the paperwork, well, she's working from home, and so there's a lot of different things like that. But as far as my medications and that, I usually pick them up from a local pharmacy, but I've just switched over to the home delivery and stuff, just because of this is a pain in the neck, because they do it 3-month supply, so it's not a big thing. But obviously, if you're I put out a video on that insulin stuff. That stuff's nothing to play with if you don't have it.
Yeah. Vanessa said all tests except a few were at a stop for her. They are just now diagnosing why I'm blacking out and almost blacking out dizzy all the time. My Yale study sessions for it are on hold. Now that's that's, to me, that's life threatening. They should be doing it.
And I got some information. My daughter's sisters, they're 2 and 4, I think, little kids, and they had an appointment come up, and the doctor had called and said, are you coming in for the appointment? And it was, you didn't really realize why they, no, they're not really sick. It's just a checkup, and especially now with sick people that have to go in, should have priority or whatever. So they had canceled it or whatever. But the doctor said basically you just show up at the parking lot, call into the front desk, say, hey, I'm here. They'll sign you in. And then when you just wait in your car. And so when when it's your time, they'll call you, and then you walk straight through to the room, and they lock you in the room, and nobody's to be in the lobby or any of that kind of stuff. So they do isolate you. And then once you leave, then they, fumigate or whatever they do in there. But yeah, so they're doing regular checkups, for little kid checkups, whatever that is, your milestones or whatever. And so they're still doing that stuff, but it's obviously they had to hire extra people to cover the cleanup stuff portion of it while they're dealing with less patients. Because normally, like my doctor, he'll stack you in there, 10 deep. He doesn't care, and they. You might have an appointment in the afternoon at 1:00, and it'll be 2:00 before you're in the room, and 2:30 before he sees you. So that's how they normally roll. And now it's they actually have to have a spot for you when you come there. So
and they're hiring people to do the cleaning and stuff. How long? Because even your doctor's office, your surgery or whatever you want to call it, is a business, right?
Yeah.
So how long can they sustain paying out more money than they're taking in?
Well, I don't know. I don't know any of that medical stuff. As far as the insurance companies, and most of the doctor's offices are tied in with a hospital. Around me, I don't. You have your small doctor's offices or whatever, but even the one I go to is tied into one of the major hospitals, and then you go to the one just down the road, and it's tied to a different hospital. So they got their doctors or whatever. So I don't know if they get
the hospitals don't pay their bills.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know, especially with things that are going on. Are hospitals getting any of this extra funding? And they're getting supplies, so I'm sure they're getting some other kind of relief.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They're not making. They've been assured they're going to, the health insurance is going to pay for all the COVID-19 stuff they're doing. So that means they're going to be getting the minimum amount, and most hospitals make their money off of selective surgeries, or whatever they call it, non-essential surgeries. So,
but see, that's the other thing is like my doctor, he can do, these whatever, where they just call you, so he can call and talk to you for, 10, 15 minutes. He can hang up and do another call with somebody that's not even, somewhere else. And that actually is probably easier than him, sitting, going room to room and, the paperwork and switching around and waiting for some, little old man to get out of the room and wait for somebody else to get in there. They might be able to get a better turnaround if I don't know, but you would think if they're just making phone calls, it's a lot easier for him. He can be sitting there, in his, wherever.
yeah.
That's a bad thought.
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't know the answer for any of it, to be honest with you. But I mean, as Kingpin says, I think it's been overplayed. They work on a fear thing here, and
but you have to realize too, Sweden, they haven't done anything. They didn't shut anything down. They just keep going. They've had a little bit of, I don't know the numbers over there, but they didn't do anything. They just said, "Let's go."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of surprised that I was watching because nothing else to do. I was watching Matt's show, his hasty headlines tonight, and he's reading the report saying that hydrochloroquine doesn't really work because more people died who were taking it. Not the drug didn't kill them; it didn't cure them, right? Or didn't help with any of their symptoms. So more died who were on the test than the ones that weren't. And I'm thinking he's saying all this, and I'm sitting there. So I looked it up after it was over. Yes, that one study, it hasn't been verified by anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My mom's been taking that for 4 years.
Put that out there, I think is very. It's another fearmonger thing. I think it's very unnecessary, unethical, in my opinion. But
where do you get off, Rick? That I can't believe it. I'm totally ashamed of you. I never thought I'd say this, but where do you get off doing independent research when you hear something on the internet?
Questioning anything that's given to you.
And my opinion is they're trying to go for a more expensive drug. Trying to make money off this, in my opinion. So I know there's been reports of colloidal silver and vitamin C infusions that are working well in other countries, but both are fairly affordable. Even the drug that you're on, I hear, is quite affordable as well. And so now I'm not surprised that we're hearing information stating that, it doesn't work as good as it could or whatever. So
yeah, and another one that costs twice as much.
Yeah, exactly. It's normal, in my opinion, government FDA BS. They're just, they don't really care about solving an issue or whatever. They just want to treat it and do it where they're going to make money. So, granted, I don't have any documentation to back this up. This is just my personal opinions from past research, but I assume would like to think that's probably the issue here is that that's an affordable drug. So like cancer medications, a lot of those, I mean, holy cow, I mean you're looking at like close to $2,000 a pill in some cases. And some of
the HIV drug that seems to be working cost.
The IV drug?
Yeah.
That's the vitamin C infusion, I believe. So that, I believe, was something like 2,000 or 5,000. I can't think of the measurements, whatever, of vitamin C mixed with a couple other things, and people seem to be doing quite well. Which the vitamin C wouldn't be a cure; it's more of an immune booster, so your body does the work for you, but it's able to do so at a much better rate because most people are deficient in a lot of ways.
Okay.
You appear to be healthy.
The one thing that you have to put in pretty much any conversation you're going to have about just about anything right now is screw Donald Trump. And that's the number one reason why everybody's trying to say hydroxychloroquine is going to kill everybody and we shouldn't use it, is because Trump thought it was a good idea.
No, absolutely. I agree with you.
It might be partly that too, but I assume in the end it's money. But
Well, no, I'm not doubting the money. The money thing kind of goes without saying. That's a fact. Of course, they want to make as much money as possible, but there can be no way that they can let anything that Donald Trump said have any kind of bright light shined on it.
Yeah, and even like this vaccine that they're supposedly working on, and it's going to take at least a year to get it. Well, otherwise they're going to be doing a year of studies on it, clinical trials and shit, right? All that costs money. So to recoup it, they're going to have to put the price of all that research and clinical trials on the actual price of the drug, which is going to make it very expensive.
Mm-hmm. Now we just send it to China and make it over there. It'll be cheap.
You know? Well, I tell you what, we must be doing something wrong here in the United States, because we've had more cases and more deaths than China has, and China's got a billion and a half people living in the country.
Well, Chinese communism is superior. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Virus and scared of commies.
That's funny. Even the viruses run away from communist countries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's I think, as I said on Saturday, okay, I mean, if you want to stay home, stay home, but open her up and let's get this country back on its feet again. You know?
Let me buy some damn paint, people.
Exactly. You know, if you want to, I mean, I don't think that I should be made to wear a mask, you know, but if it's going to get, I mean, personally, what good is wearing a mask going into a restaurant? How the hell are you going to eat? You know what I'm saying?
Until somebody that has some actual effect in this world, like me saying this is pointless unless more people say it. But we need one of these reporters or somebody, a government official, to say justify any of this, because we know that you're marking down every single person as a dead COVID patient. We know that they're fudging the numbers. They admitted to fudging the numbers. I mean, until they justify actual numbers, which by now is probably too late. We're stuck with these numbers unless you can figure out a way to get into John Doe's death certificate and find out what he really had and do some serious research. We're stuck with the numbers that they're giving us, and we know that they're not true. So justify why I need to wear a mask by the numbers that you're lying about.
I would think the difficult part would be the numbers are inflated at, like, New York State and stuff due to money, because, the hospitals want to make their income like they normally do every month, in my opinion.
Because they're guaranteed the money for corona patients.
From what the word is it's like 13 grand anybody that has corona at all comes into their hospital, and it's another 29 grand or something like that if they're thrown on a ventilator. So basically, everybody's going to be marked up to make up for all those surgeries that aren't being done and everything else to get get money going. But there is truly a virus, and it is truly a problem due to the fact that the actual rate of it, depending on the numbers, seems to spread worse than the flu. Seems to be more likely to affect you worse than the flu as well. So,
a lot of people dying, but I mean, even at a high 10% death rate, right? 90% of people are still recovering.
Yeah, and I don't want to argue numbers because we don't know the numbers. I think the problem lies is we know it's inflated one way, but we also kind of know it's deflated the other way, because there's a lot of people that have had this already. Could have been months from all we know at this point, that are asymptomatic and it didn't bother. So technically it did touch a lot more than we know, but not in such a strongly negative way. So it's a hard fine line.
Now, we got a gun question we're going to go to in a minute, but just make a statement here. I saw on the news tonight that California couldn't let Washington State have the thing as being the first place they had the virus. They claim they went back and looked. They had 2 patients back in February. February 8th was the first one who died. They thought it was just the common flu. Now they believe it was the coronavirus they died from. So,
now, do we believe that, and the whole thing, to fit the story that's been around for a while, or do we believe that to fit the story that they want to make up for retro payments on this Corona money?
I think it's retro payments myself.
I don't know. That's the problem. All we know is
it's all about money. It's always been about.
So, in my opinion, I'm playing it safe. I think they should get things going again, but I'm still playing things safe because I don't like hospitals and try to avoid all the issues I can.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's the gun question. Unknown user wants to know. He's going to buy a Glock. That's your first mistake there. But
it's already a bad deal.
He's going to buy a Glock 9mm. He said, ask the panel, should I get a Gen 4 Glock 19 or a Gen 4 Glock 17 for home defense CCW? Isn't the 17 the smaller one, or is it the 19?
I think the 17 is a smaller one. I'm not a Glock guy, but I'm pretty sure the 17 is a smaller one. My side, I'd get whatever you prefer, honestly.
I would try and see which one feels better in your hand. I said, when I was looking at guns, the grip just didn't fit my hand.
Keep in mind, at some point, you might want to carry this gun, so you might want to keep that in mind when making that decision. If you do want to carry it, is it going to affect you if you have the longer one or not? I don't know. That's all on individuals. So. Besides that, though, I don't see much difference. Except Smith and Wesson.
I would get the 17 because you can always use the extended mag if you want. Unless you're a big guy and you got big hands.
Jason said the 19 is smaller.
There you go. Yeah. Not a Glock guy.
I think the only panel that could have been worse to ask a Glock question would have been the Crazy Scotsman.
Oh yeah. Oh, unknown user. Now back to your money thing in the ground. Did you see where that Democrat star of Shark Tank just got exposed for price gouging in the state of Florida for the N95 mask? He's charging them $7 per mask. That doesn't surprise me. See, it's all about money. That's what this thing is all about, money. People don't give a shit about the individual person out there suffering. It's all about how much money can they make out of this.
Mm-hmm.
We're experiencing the world's largest and most devastating theft ever.
Yeah.
100 years from now, some Sherlock Holmes guy is going to be going back doing a Forbidden History on that History Channel, and they're going to cover this and the tens of trillions of dollars that have been stolen. It's amazing. I can't believe it.
Well, plus the hardship put on people in a sense too. I mean, it's going to be debated whether we should have been locked down or left open, and that with numbers I don't can't trust. I couldn't say it one way or another, to be honest with you. What would have truly been better? I don't think anybody's going to come up with a good estimation off fake numbers, but. Obviously there's a lot of people displaced out of work. There's been a lot of family issues, which technically, if you can't get along with your spouse, you should probably know that anyway, especially before you sign up for a new car or something. But, it's definitely made an effect. I assume some people have died. And I know that people might think that's crazy, but when you think of all the surgeries, the general health care, I've known people here that had to wait like 6-8 months to go to the doctor. So depending on what your issue, maybe some people have passed on sooner than they should have due to this as well, because the services not being what they should. So I've heard stories of people not going to the hospital when they should have because they didn't want to go create overflow or get the virus, and come to find out they died at their house basically with the virus trying to protect everybody else. So I think there's a lot to this that I think goes pretty deep, and because our country and national security, I doubt we'll ever hear the true numbers and story because it's not going to look good one way or another.
No. Yeah, just before we wind this out, Raphael hit it right on the head. Watch the History Channel. They will say it's all the aliens. Yeah, in years to come, when you're watching ancient aliens, they'll say the aliens caused this. That was what it's all about,
Russians, Chinese, anybody. Nobody takes accountability for anything, so it'll be anybody but us. We are at zero fault, guaranteed.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to wind this up because I told you my back is killing me, and I'm suffering here. I really am, but I'm putting on a brave face. I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to pass. If it doesn't pass in a few days, then I'll guess I'm going to have to call the doctor and see what he says. So I don't know. So anyway, I want to go through the panel here real quick for any shout outs or plugs. Patriot, you got any?
Oh, just stay positive.
No, I am.
I don't know. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Hello, Sabrina. Hello, everybody out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to be giving away some stuff.
Oh, you are?
I think so. I haven't done it in a while. And the last person that won was Two Gun Kitty, the catnip outlaw. And it took forever. I couldn't get to the post office and, didn't like bothering. Yeah. So instead, I just sent him a T-shirt. So.
Okay. Oh, talking about that, unknown user. You said that Betty somebody could have your prize. She has never written to me with her mailing address. So I still got your prize here. And I ain't got your mailing address in New York because you won it last week, didn't
you? Yep.
So email me your mailing address and I'll get it out to you at the end of the month when my next check comes, So, all right. Kingpin, anything? Plug, shout outs, or last minute comments?
Thanks for having me as always. Super cool to be with you guys. Ghost Tactical is doing a special live show tonight. So
yeah,
check him out.
I think he's already started, I think.
Yeah, I left the link in the chat. So check him out when you're done here.
Yes. Squib, any shout outs, plugs, or last minute comments? Okay. I appreciate you being here, Squib. We missed you on the chats. Man, he dropped out already. Man. New York Outcast. Anything?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Squib threw me through your loop there. I was laughing a minute. Basically, thanks for having me, people. I was delayed because I was working on a project and making a stand for target shooting. So if anybody's interested in like a DIY or whatever, I should have a video up on that. I would assume by tomorrow. I still got to go through and put it all together. But basically, looking at the numbers, it's a cheap, affordable stand you can make yourself. You can take it apart, throw it in your car if you want, take it to the range, do what you want to do, obviously. So thought that might be helpful for some people. Again, if you're interested, check it out. Other than that, thanks for having me, Rick. I apologize I was late.
That's all right. I appreciate you showing up. And okay, unknown user, I'll get it in the mail to you at the end of the month. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for sticking by me during this and listening to us ramble on here. Anytime you guys got any questions, I try to get to them, but if you email them to me, I can bring them up as a topic. That way we know they'll get answered. So, you email my usual addresses, rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. But I'll be back again on Saturday. Before a thing. My quiz for Saturday. Let me do this real quick. All right, it's a mailing quiz. All right, here we go. Bob Munden, who was known as the fastest gun who ever lived, was talking at a thing he was doing, and he told the crowd about the 4 fastest gun drawers in the movies. I want to know the name of all 4. You don't have to get them in order, but it would be nice if you did. So we're talking about movie stars, actors, who were the 4 fastest in real life. All right. So there you go. That's the question. Email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So, I mean, I got this information off the internet, so it's got to be correct. So, and I checked 3 or 4 different web pages, and I got the same answers. So it must be true. So there we go. So I want to say thank you all for being here. I said I really do appreciate it. I will be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. for Rick's Life as I See It. So I will see you all then. So good night, everybody.